It's a Sid Rosenberg Show.
Sid Rosenberg is on.
Right now.
Swing and a high fly, left field slicing. Gardner racing back. It's over his head, and it is off the wall. They're going to call it a home run. Third base umpire Tichenor says it is gone. It had left the ballpark, and he's going to send in Jackie Bradley with a 2-run homer, and the Red Sox lead it 4-1.
You know, he was really good, and he made a couple mistakes. And the one to Jackie Bradley wasn't where he wanted it either. I thought he threw a pretty good game, and I thought his stuff was really good. He just made a couple mistakes.
Strike three, swinging. The ball game is over. The Red Sox beat the Yankees 5-1 and dropped the Yankees 5 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays with only 6 to play.
You look at where you are in the season. Are you alarmed, though, at all, considering the offense has been sputtering a little bit, 3 runs or less in 5 out of their last?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something that you go through, and you know that eventually you're going to break out, and you're going to break out in a big way, and we need to do that.
Rogers gets the snap just in time. Quick throw, right side. He's got his man. Touchdown, Randall Cobb.
We need to bring it every week. It's 3 games in, you just slow down a little bit. Thankful for the 3 wins and like to keep it going like this throughout the season. Consistency is very important in our business, and if you're making good decisions, taking care of the football, you're going to give your team a chance to win.
Here's the snap, looks downfield, steps up in a tight pocket. He's hit and yanked down. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard as this one comes to a close. The Green Bay Packers score an impressive 38-28 victory over the Chiefs.
The key starts up front. We protected really well. That's a great front. And they brought a lot of 5 and occasionally 6-man pressures to hold their 2 edge guys in 1 sack. That's pretty impressive. Those guys keep blocking like that, we're going to be tough to beat.
His ability to really process information is as good as I've ever been around, and I've been blessed to have been around great quarterbacks.
In the lobby of his Manhattan skyscraper, Donald Trump got down to details today.
It's going to cost me a fortune.
Releasing an ambitious tax plan that his campaign says would get rid of income tax for millions of Americans, while lowering rates for the rich. Under the plan, individuals making less than $25,000 and married couples making less than $50,000 would pay no income tax. The highest tax rate would drop from 39.6% to 25%. Estate taxes would be eliminated. Businesses would pay 15%. And overseas profits would be taxed one time at a rate of 10%, which Trump claims would bring more than $2 trillion back to the U.S. The cuts, combined with unspecified loopholes and deductions, would all lead to a flourishing economy.
Well, we're looking at a 3%, but we think it can be 5, it could even be 6. We're going to have growth that will be tremendous.
From the details that we have, it appears that this would be a very significant tax cut for the richest taxpayers.
Trump's tax plan, another big promise for a big fix from the frontrunner. On infrastructure,
our bridges are falling apart. Our roads are a mess. Everything. It's a mess.
Estimates put rebuilding at $3.6 trillion by 2020. On health care, specifically repealing and replacing Obamacare.
We will have a plan that will be so good.
Repealing alone, $137 billion over a decade. Trump getting specific, but as the experts weigh in, the candidate may soon find out the devil really is in the details.
Vladimir Putin and Barack Obama in their first formal one-on-one meeting in 2 years, but only after trading insults today over Syria.
Can you work together?
Can you make progress on Syria? Putin swaggered into the UN after a diplomatic, military, and PR blitz to seize the initiative from the U.S. that left the White House scrambling. Obama wants Syrian President Assad out. But Putin said without Assad, ISIS would take over, insisting it's an enormous mistake to refuse to cooperate with the Syrian government and its armed forces, who are valiantly fighting terrorism face to face. Obama scornfully rejects that argument.
In accordance with this logic, we should support tyrants like Bashar al-Assad, who drops barrel bombs to massacre innocent children.
Obama and Putin's icy relationship is being called a new Cold War, not just over Syria, but Ukraine. Obama slapped sanctions on Putin's cronies for supporting separatists there. Today, Putin arrived 20 minutes late for the UN lunch, sitting so close to Obama they had to shake hands and couldn't avoid the toast. This is not Reagan and Gorbachev or Clinton and Yeltsin. But this is not the Vlad and Barack show.
No, it is not. And the fact of the matter is, it's a very business-like relationship. They've spoken on the phone over the course of those last few years, and they're very blunt and direct with one another.
Putin watchers say he sees every rivalry as a sports match, a contest he must win.
Putin always shows himself as a macho man. He's a strong man. He sees weakness and he seizes on it.
In the U.S. policy on Syria, he sees weakness. Just a handful of rebels trained at huge cost, and ISIS ranks growing. And when asked on 60 Minutes whether he thinks Obama considers him an equal...
Well, you ask him. He's your president. How could I know what he thinks?
There are consequences to their bad relationship. The Syrian war and the refugees fleeing from it is the biggest humanitarian disaster since World War II. And it's dragged on this long because Russia and the United States cannot agree on how to end it.
Hello, is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone home? Come on now. I hear you're feeling down. Well, I can ease your pain, get you on your feet again. Relax. I need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain, you are receding. A distant ship, smoke on the horizon. You are only coming through in waves. Your lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. When I was a child, I had fever. My hands felt just like two balloons. Now I've got that feeling once again. I can't explain, you will not understand. This is not how I am.
So I said to Z-Mac moments ago while he's putting together that wonderful open, done very, very well, as always. Nice job, Stevie. You too, Eric. I say to Z-Mac, I go, I know Putin, Russian, obviously. According to Obama, the enemy, although I think most Americans feel the same way. He's kind of on the other team, and Obama's on our team, right? He's the American president. So if, in fact, there was a constitutional amendment, a rule change, and Barack Obama was, in fact, allowed to run for a third term, would you vote for Obama, third term, here in America, or Putin, who's the enemy? And without any hesitation, Z-Mac said, well, what did you say, Stevie?
I want a guy with some balls.
So who did you say?
I said Putin.
Putin, right. And then I posed the same question to Langell. Langell, hearing about some of the things Z-Mac was talking about, and you said the same thing, didn't you, Putin?
Well, after I heard.
What did you hear? What did Z-Mac tell you that got you all excited?
I read it this morning also that he and China are just ready to go take ISIS out. They're just done with the nonsense.
Well, yeah, according to Putin, China and Iraq and Russia and Syria are all together here in an effort to wipe out ISIL and terrorism. And there's your president, this hypocrite, going on and on about Assad. Well, why not just why would I want to work with him? This is the same president, mind you, that's done a deal with Iran. Why would I want to work with Assad? I mean, you may as well just work with the terrorists. Hello, Iran deal. I mean, did you think about that when he said that?
Of course. And Putin had some logical things to say that made a lot of sense.
Well, first of all, Putin shows up 20 minutes late. You got to love that. Then he sits down next to Obama. Obama looked furious. Putin had this little a cracked smile on his face, like basically, F you, I don't care. when asked what Obama thought about him, you heard his answer. Well, what do I know? What do I care? Basically, he's your president. He's your problem. What do I care? What did Putin say that you thought was practical and good?
He laid out a plan to get rid of ISIS. Basically, he compared it to the Nazis and how nobody did anything.
World War II, that's right.
Yeah,
nobody did do anything, including the president here. Everybody loves the legendary FDR. He knew Jews were being murdered every single day, and for years did nothing about it. Nothing.
So Putin basically said the same thing. This has been going on for years, ISIS, and we're going to wipe them out. And there are already Russian planes in the sky in Syria.
So the big problem is Russia wants to eliminate terrorism. We, according to our leaders, want to eliminate terrorism. But the difference is Russia is doing something about it, and we don't, basically.
Correct, because we could have wiped out ISIS if we wanted to.
Oh, God, a long time ago.
The pictures of their capital, Raqqa, it hasn't been touched.
We don't touch it. How does that make any sense?
You let them line up their vehicles and have marches and parades.
Killing people in the streets.
You could see it from satellite images. You could drop a bomb on them. They won't. Nobody's done anything. So that's it. Putin finally said yesterday to the UN, all the world leaders are there, and he said enough is enough. China and Russia have come up with a plan, and that's it. We're done with America. That's it.
I'll tell you what, I would love to see all the CNN polls, the NBC polls, all the polls that we've got across the country. I would love to see somebody in big numbers poll Americans and ask Americans, again, the American president up against the Russians, who listen, you heard about Reagan and Gorbachev, obviously Clinton and Yeltsin, but the Cold War is back, right? So they are the enemy once again. And I am telling you, the majority of Americans would say they respect Putin more than our own president. I guarantee you that would be the answer. And that's pretty rough to hear, no?
It's crazy. This is what it's come to.
It's 3-0 in this room. 3-0 Putin in this room right now. 3-0 Putin.
Yeah, I mean, he's making Obama look so bad right now.
Oh, my God.
He's making him look weak and unprepared and traitorous.
And in front of the whole world, because all the world leaders are here in New York at the UN Assembly listening to this guy, and they're all looking at Putin making a starch. We're going to do this, we're going to do that. And Obama, the lazy
does nothing, right?
Unicorns, right. Ice cream cones.
Did he actually talk about unicorns and ice cream cones?
No.
Right.
But I'm just saying, it's basically he did.
Talk about
nothing makes sense.
Talk about the great race between the Kansas City Royals and Toronto Blue Jays to win the American League, or the Met lead now 2.5, or is it 2 over the Dodgers?
2.
2.
With the tiebreaker.
6 games to play for both clubs. And we'll get to all of that, of course, coming up. We've got a monster guest list today. Donald Trump unveiled his tax plan, and you liked it, didn't you? You thought it was pretty good.
I don't know if it makes sense, but again, it's like, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it. Just don't worry. And then he throws a couple numbers out there.
Right.
A couple
3%,
numbers.
5%, 6%. And it's going to be great.
Right. And it's.
I love when he says that.
It's going to be great.
Trust me,
it's going to be the
great.
best ever.
He sounds like an old guy. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to, like my grandfather, you're not going to believe it, how great it's going to be. It's going to be great. Okay? Yeah, that's fine.
It's so true. It's going to be great.
That's it.
And he can make it all the way and get the Republican bid doing this.
He can do that, probably.
That's going to be amazing.
Who was on with us yesterday who said, stop already with he's going to disappear, he's going to flame out.
Well, I don't dare say it anymore because he seems to be proving
Dan
everyone
Harris,
wrong.
Right?
But
it was Dan Harris. That's right. The anchor from Good Morning America.
It's going to be amazing that he can continue like this the whole way through and get the nomination, the bid. It's going to be amazing.
There are 2 quarterbacks right now in the National Football League that are so much better than everybody else. One of them was primetime last night. That's Aaron Rodgers. His Green Bay Packers took apart the Kansas City Chiefs 38-28. So Green Bay improves to 3-0, the one of 7 unbeaten teams in the NFL. The other guy, of course, is Tom Brady. His club is also unbeaten at 3-0. Those 2 guys are so much better than everybody. I mean, it's not close. It's Brady and Rodgers or Rodgers and Brady, and you can argue all day long about who's number 3. That one you can argue about. But Tom Brady does a weekly radio show in Boston. Callahan and who's the other guy's name? I forget. I know
Dennis and Callahan.
That's right. And yesterday, I guess, after the Patriots scored 51 and beat Jacksonville to improve to 3-0, he did his weekly conversation on WEEI up in Boston, and they asked him about Donald Trump. I guess Tom Brady is very political, and they asked him about Donald Trump. Here he is. Your quarterback, the best ever. The best ever. You can talk about Unitas, Staubach, Montana, Marino, Elway. I don't care. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in the history of the game. And here's what he had to say about Donald Trump.
When we asked you if you were going to vote for Trump, and you said you didn't know, and then when you made those offhand comments in the locker room, that was translated into an endorsement. And people said he endorsed Trump, but I didn't think it was an endorsement. Did you?
You know, again, it's. I mean, look, I've known him for a long time. He's been a fun guy that I've had a lot of time around. So, the fact that he's running is it's been pretty. It's obviously led to a lot of stories and debates, and I know the ratings were huge for all those Republican debates and so forth. So, one way or another, I mean, it's so far away from what an election would be, and whatever I vote is going to be my own personal choice based on how I feel. So I don't even know what the issues are. I haven't paid attention to politics in a long time. So I've been it's actually not something that I really even enjoy. So it's way off my radar.
That's Tom Brady. Well, what is this story here about Facebook? Facebook privacy status hoax resurfaces again, fills news feeds. I'm not even my wife, my beautiful wife, who I love dearly, celebrated her birthday 2 days ago. Her and I are not Facebook friends because I can't handle it. I don't like when guys go on her page and I'm immature and jealous and I get pissed off. So we're just not friends. I'm being completely honest. I'd rather not even see what's going on there.
That sounds completely honest.
Yeah, no, I am being.
I know. Oh my God.
And you should probably do the same because you're exactly like me. So there's a story out here, according to Ricky Belupe. 3 years in a row this has surfaced. What is this story about Facebook? What exactly is going on?
Well, I saw people mentioning it that Facebook was going to do something like charge you $5.99 a month.
For what?
And if you did, for privacy.
For privacy.
Basically, like the shakedown almost.
But I have to understand this. If you're not my friend, okay, you can't look at my pictures. You can't do any of that stuff on Facebook. So what would I need the privacy thing for? So you're telling me that we become friends and then at that point?
No, I think Facebook takes the rights to using anything on their page. Pictures, they could use your picture, they could send it out, your info.
We got to get Ricky in here.
Yeah.
He knows this thing up and down.
And then,
our fearless intern, who's about to leave us, by the way, he's going to get a job at this place. He's got 3 or 4 different opportunities, which I'm very happy for him. So we need a new intern soon. Emily Simbal gone, Ricky Belupe gone. Ricky, what is this Facebook story exactly?
3 years ago, they decided that somebody's going to put this hoax out where basically it said that Facebook is going to charge you $5.99 a month to be able to keep all of your pictures and messages private.
Okay.
If you didn't pay this $5.99 or put this disclaimer on your Facebook and not just share it but copy it into an actual status, that Facebook would be able to use all that stuff and charge you $5.99 a month.
Well, that's not right. No,
this is literally the 3rd year in a row.
But it's a hoax.
It is a complete hoax.
Okay.
And then people are still reposting it. I'm not totally sure why people haven't grasped onto it by now.
Right, but it's a hoax.
It's a hoax.
Did my wife actually repost it too recently?
It's funny. I didn't read all of them because there's such long posts, and I saw that she did, but I didn't say anything. And then another buddy of mine posted something like it, but he was actually making fun of it. I didn't read it.
Okay.
But I think she did post that because it's something saying Channel 13 is saying that this is supposed to be posted on your Facebook, and Channel 13 doesn't exist.
Not here. It does in New York.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
PBS.
know. Yeah, I don't know what people are getting this Channel 13
That's
thing
PBS
from.
in New York. It's a big deal.
Yeah, but everybody down here is like Channel 13, Channel 13, Channel 13. I don't know what they're talking about.
Very confusing. All right,
so something
you.
from the internet.
All right,
obviously.
thank you, Ricky. Stevie, has Ted White gotten back to you? Ted White.
No, he's not. And he's not much of a tweeter either, so I have to find some information. He's got, like, his last tweet was like a week ago, so I'm looking for someone else right now.
Here is this is a major local story going on today. Look, we're going to cover everything today. We've got, like I said, I'll get you the guest list momentarily. We've got the Putin-Obama stuff. We've got the Donald Trump stuff. More on Carly Fiorina, Ben Carson, all that stuff. I got all the baseball for you today. The Yankees lost last night. Toronto won. The Yankees are now 5 back with 6 to play. That's over. The American League West, really exciting. The Rangers lost to Detroit last night, and both Houston and the Angels won. So that's getting really crazy, that American League West. The Mets are back in action tonight in Philly against the Phillies. Like I said, the Packers end Week 3 by blowing out Kansas City. They remain unbeaten, one of 7 teams to start the season at 3-0. We've got all that for you. But here's a local story that has haunted me and my wife forever because I knew these folks, and I used to live in Boca Chase. where they lived as well. And here is the story. The FBI and the Boca Raton Police Department are scheduled to hold a news conference today about the unsolved 2007 slayings of Nancy and Joey Bociccio at the Town Center Mall. A spokesman for the regional office of the FBI said Monday that the agencies are announcing an increased reward and a new investigative update in connection to the Bociccio murders. Nancy Bociccio, 47, and her daughter Joey, 7 years old, were killed back on December 12, 2007. They were actually shopping for a birthday gift, for a birthday party that day, and Christmas gifts. Security guards at the Town Center Mall found their bodies inside their still-running SUV parked outside of Sears. Both had gunshots to their foreheads. According to a news report, the two were found bound with plastic ties and handcuffs. At least one of the victims was also wearing blacked-out swim goggles. Police are offering a $350,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the killer or killers. And look, we see horrible stories all the time. This one got a lot of attention, obviously. Boca Raton and you don't expect to go Christmas shopping at the Town Center Mall and have a mother and a daughter executed, literally executed, in the parking lot. This one really makes me sick. I'd love to, when they find these guys, I would pay money to be the guy to execute both of them, or one of them. How many guys committed this crime? I would pay money to, if they in fact got the death penalty, or he, I should say, I keep saying they, to pull the switch myself or pay to watch it. I mean, this mother effer. For some reason, he made Nancy Bociccio drive to an ATM nearby on Glades Road. She took out the $500, gave him the $500, and then execution style pumped a bullet into both of their foreheads. Joey was 7 years old. So they got to find this son of a bitch, or them. And like I said, I'd love to watch him die slowly. I really would. So that's another story that is surfacing today. And then, of course, like I said, we got this amazing guest list coming up in about 37 minutes. She's on each and every Tuesday, and we love her. And that is world-renowned sex and relationship therapist Liz Mandel. Today, in very graphic detail, so once again, if the kids are in the car, I recommend you make it louder. Today, she's going to explain to females out there who are having trouble orgasming how easy it really is and what you have to do to make sure you get it done. So this will be a good chance for Stacy and Alicia to tune in.
Another educational segment.
Very. Then coming up at 7:30, he's part of that great midday team at WFAN alongside Joe Beningo, talking Mets, Jets, and everything New York. Our good buddy Evan Roberts stopping by at 7:30. 8 o'clock this morning, we saw him all over the pregame show last Thursday night when the Giants took on the Washington Redskins. In my opinion, the greatest football player to ever play. On either side of the ball, the great number 56, Lawrence Taylor, my buddy LT, stopping by at 8. We will talk to terrorism expert, based upon those meetings yesterday with Putin and Obama at the UN. Max Abrams coming up at 8:45. All-time New York Met and New York Yankee great. He will be here today. Coming up at 9, Dwight Gooden. And then ESPN Baseball tonight, Pedro Gomez stopping by at 9:30. So Liz Mandel, Evan Roberts, Max Abrams, Pedro Gomez, Lawrence Taylor, and Dwight Gooden all stopping by the program today. 888-640-9385. That's 888-640-9385. What do you have there? What is it?
I was actually just notified we have a new hotline number. This is going to annoy you.
Hotline?
Sorry, a
call-in number?
Let me see that then.
That was me trying out earlier when the lines were lighting up. So this is going to annoy you. Yes,
is that an 844? What is that?
844, yeah. I had to try a couple different numbers, but yeah, it's 844-640-6464.
Okay, so the new number to call into the show for our listeners is 844-640-6464. That's 8. Put this into your bones for the guys that call all the time.
I was going to say, this is going to annoy a lot of people.
844-640-6464. One more time, 844-640-6464. We'll come back right after this.
Sid's guest on 640 Sports started talking.
Great giant quarterback, and I love him. It's Phil Simms. Hey, Phil.
Hello, Sid. I see Lawrence had a birthday bash.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even hear about it, so we were really close. Yeah, I would have liked to have been invited. Well, I read some of the other people were there, and I'm thinking, okay, how come they're there? I'm not saying Lawrence and I were, like, really close friends. Because, you know, he loved to make fun of me. He loved it. Right. You know, I don't know why it made him feel good.
Sid Rosenberg. Mornings only on 640 Sports.
Hey girl, I'm just a small town runaround. I get my kicks out on the outskirts of town. I could never do it like a pretty city boy. I'm more efficient in the dark, nitty-gritty boy. So lay back and let me paint you a picture, the way I wanna kiss you. Yeah. Slow as the Mississippi, strong as a fifth of whiskey, steady as a Tom Petty track. I wanna love you like that, deeper than a sunset sky, sweeter than muscadine wine, all night till the sun comes back. I wanna love you like that.
Kanan Smith, love you like that. 6:33 on your Tuesday morning. Welcome back to the Sid Rosenberg Show. Big show coming your way. Liz Mandel, Evan Roberts, Max Abrams, Pedro Gomez, Lawrence Taylor, and Dwight Gooden all stopping by today. You're not going to get that guest list anywhere else in the country. I mean, all kidding aside, are you?
No.
No. Did you watch The Voice last night? I did not. I was caught up in Packers and Chiefs and Yankees and Red Sox. So what happened on The Voice last night?
I missed all of it last night.
I understand. You were talking it up all day yesterday.
Nick had a 7:45 flag football game. So I was from...
You didn't know that yesterday morning when you were talking up The Voice?
I must have slipped my mind at that moment.
Yeah.
Because I knew about it, but I...
But you're high, so...
No, I don't do that.
Forget things. You do it all the time.
No.
Dewey.
No.
Yes, Dewey. I think I kind of want that.
No, not here.
Look at my boy Steve. He's so busy because we're doing all these stories today. We got all these unbelievable guests, and yet I got a text from Danielle early this morning about this press conference being held in Boca today at the Town Center Mall over the 2007 slayings of the Pochichios, and it's all I want to do today is get on Ted White or somebody from Channel 25, WPBF, which is up here in Palm Beach. He is on the scene. He's been reporting from there for an hour already. So between Ted White and Angela Rozier, I know Angela, I don't know Ted, but the KBJ guys over here, I guess they're friendly with Ted, or they're that's their. I don't know how does that work. They work directly with that TV station.
Apparently, yes, they work. Each station has their own has a different local affiliate. That's what I'm finding out right now.
So like who?
Sonny has someone.
Sonny has like ABC, I think. Jen Ross.
CBS, I think.
CBS.
It might be NBC. I'm
WRMF has
the ones
PBF.
we want. Yes, and they gave me the producer's number, so I'm contacting
they
her
did?
right now. Yeah.
Who gave it to you? Denny's or Kevin or Virginia?
Denny's.
He got it from Kevin or Virginia, just so you know.
He's a good guy, though. I like that guy.
No, it's all good now. Even Kevin and Virginia. It's all good.
No, they're cool.
Oh, I shouldn't say Virginia. I am yet to say a word to Virginia. She's yet to say a word to me. But the two guys on the show, Kevin and John?
Jason.
Right. Those guys are great.
And, no, same thing. I hadn't had any interaction with Virginia, but last Friday, me and Lingel were leaving. Someone came up and they were like, hey, do you guys want free beer? We got beer in the back.
Really?
So I went in the back and they were giving beer, and I'm back there with Virginia, and she goes, are you Jewish? Do you want the Hebrew? And
see what she did? The Hebrew. That's funny.
And it's a real beer, though. The best part is it has
Jewish?
It has
you want the Hebrew?
It has a rabbi as an icon on the picture.
Great.
It says Hebrew, by far the best beer in the world, blah, blah, blah.
Why did you
really
think
cool.
you were Jewish? Or?
No, she just asked me.
She just asked you. That's kind of funny, actually.
It was great. I brought it home.
Have you had any?
No, I feel like I can't open it. It's like one of those things that...
Yeah, you don't open
it's
it,
like
right.
It's one of the big bottles, too, like the 20-ounce. Like, it's really nice.
A lot of free booze last week when you consider that you had Chelsea Taylor's boyfriend, Bo Eaton, here with his... Is that Saltwater? Brewery?
Yep.
Which is right on Atlantic Avenue in Delray. And then the Hebrew. Look at you stacking up on booze at home. You can never have enough of that, especially with your girlfriend. Because does she drink?
Yeah. She drinks.
Lush?
Oh, I mean...
Oh boy.
Anyway, let me get to work here and get this.
Is it going to happen?
Yes.
We've got LT, but we can't get Ted White.
Right.
Basically.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
we've got LT, Dwight Gooden. We've had 6 presidential candidates on, but we can't get Ted White. How does that happen?
No, Ted, I'm working on it. We're going to get someone on here.
Ted White's not even white, is he?
No, not at all.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. That's always funny, isn't that? Like Jack Black is not black.
He's not black.
No, he's not.
And he's a retard now after that stupid
he's a
thing.
piece of garbage.
I was a big fan of his, but now after that comment of it,
I don't think I've ever been a big fan of his. I mean, I've been okay with him.
Yeah, okay, that's
kind of
fair
like
to
that
say.
movie School of Rock, I
Yes,
think.
yes.
And I like the movie Shallow Hal actually a lot. I don't know why, because I hate Gwyneth Paltrow, but yeah, I can't stand him now. And even by the way, a huge fan. And I met this guy in person. He was lovely at the Mike Tyson Lennox Lewis fight in Tennessee. I'm talking about Morgan Freeman, and now I can't stand him either.
All these Hollywood, coming. They have no clue what they're talking about, but they'll happily read a script.
Specifically, the 3 actors/actresses that were on that Iran piece that you're talking about. They were supporting the Iran deal, and they had no idea what they were talking about. Were Jack Black, Morgan Freeman, and this girl I like too from American Pie. Had a horrible drug problem. Seemingly has kicked it. A very good story. Now one of the stars of Orange is the New Black, Natasha Lyonne. Another asshole.
Well, Jackie Mason shut them all up because his was great.
Really? Shut anybody up. I mean, we liked it. It was funny, but they're still talking.
Well, yeah, I know.
He shut up. But I liked what Jackie had to say. But Jackie did come hard. Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
The Mets are back in action tonight in Philly against the Phillies. And right now they'll lead over the Dodgers to make sure they get the that ever-important 5th game in Citi Field in Queens. Is what, 2 games now? Or 2.5?
Two games with the tiebreaker.
Two games
they
with the
own the
tiebreaker.
tiebreaker with the Dodgers. Surprisingly, I was surprised to find out they won the season series.
Yes, they did. They took 2 out of 3 out. They beat Greinke and Kershaw, I think, last time.
Yeah, when they were out west, too.
Mets are back in action tonight. Like I said, they start a 3-game set in Philadelphia against the lowly Phillies tonight. And then the Mets end the season Friday, Saturday, and Sunday by hosting Washington in Queens. As for the Dodgers, who again lost last night to San Francisco, the Giants are red hot, but they're running out of time. They're not going to make it because the Giants are 5 back of the Dodgers with 6 to play. Dodgers have 3 more in San Francisco against the Giants. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Dodgers will host lowly San Diego. So that is your remaining schedule there. Kansas City, right now, 1 back of Toronto for the best record overall inside the American League. Toronto 1 better than Kansas City. The Blue Jays, who won again last night, came back from a 3-1 deficit to beat Baltimore 4-3. Spend the rest of the season on the road. 3 more in Baltimore, then a Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend series in Tampa Bay against the Rays. As for Kansas City, they lost last night to the White Sox. They also have 3 more in Chicago against the White Sox. They, too, on the road, finish up the season Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in a tough spot, Minnesota against the Twins. And the Yankees lost last night 5-1 to Boston, so they are now 5 back of Toronto with 6 to play. That's over, but they will, in fact, host a wild card game next week in the Bronx. Question is, who will be the wild card team? And right now, the American League West is amazing. The first place Texas Rangers lost to Justin Verlander and the Tigers last night. Second place, Houston won. Third place, Angels won. So right now, Houston is just a game and a half behind Texas and leading the wild card. And the Angels are just a half a game behind Houston and 2 back of Texas. So that has become very, very exciting. Once again, the number is been changed. If you've been calling this show for the 3 years we've been here, it's a brand new number. It's 844-640-6464. That's 844-640-6464. Liz Mandel, Evan Roberts, Max Abrams, Pedro Gomez, Dwight Gooden, and Lawrence Taylor all stopping by today. We'll take a short break. We're back right after this.
It's a Sid Rosenberg Show on 640 Sports right now.
The strands in your eyes, the color them wonderful, stop me and steal my breath. And emeralds from mountains and thrust towards the sky, never revealing their depth. And tell me that we belong together, just sit down
is amazing that we have Chuck Todd on this show each and every Friday. Sean Hannity, 5 presidential candidates, guys like Lawrence Taylor and Dwight Gooden on the show today. And we are having all kinds of difficulties getting somebody on locally to talk about this big press conference, news conference being held at the Town Center Mall in Boca Raton, where I live, where that story, of course, about there's really 3 murders. It's unfair not to mention, I think her name was Randy Goldberg. She was murdered before, a couple of months, I want to say August, a couple of months before the very public slayings of Nancy and Joe Bociccio. And, of course, Joey was only 7 years old, a beautiful little girl. Anytime that happens, that's going to get national attention. But this guy actually killed 3 people in about a 4 or 5 month span. And that was 8 years ago, and haven't found them. But there was a news conference today. They've upped their award, I believe, to $350,000. And according to the news reports, there is some more information. And maybe those goggles, I hate to say it, but I believe it was the baby, Joey, that was wearing those before this guy pumped a bullet into each one of their foreheads. Maybe the goggles have provided some more information. I don't know. But Ted White has been covering the story all day long since early this morning, since I've seen it, 4 o'clock this morning for WPBF here in Palm Beach, and we can't get him. I know Angela Rogier for years. I don't believe she's covering the story. She hasn't gotten back to us yet. So on a day where we've got Liz Mandel, Evan Roberts, WFAN. We've got Pedro Gomez, Baseball Tonight, ESPN, the world's one of the world's renowned terrorism experts, Max Abrams, Dwight Gooden, Lawrence Taylor. We can't get somebody from Palm Beach.
I'm in communication with the producer, so we're working on something.
She has no idea what I even do. What producer? She's like,
she knows.
Doesn't he do sports talk radio, Sid? It's like, listen, honey, you and everybody else needs to find this thing out, okay? Yes, we do sports talk radio, obviously, but we do news, we do politics. I get better political guests than anybody in this town, including anybody on 850 outside of the local races. Outside of Joe Kaufman. So get with it, baby. Get with it. Let's go. Sid Rosenberg does it all. This show does all of it. She thinks we're doing just sports.
She's being very cool. She apologized. She said, I'm on the air. You know, I get here. She does the same schedule as us, so she doesn't listen to the radio when she's on. And no, I don't. But
okay, so when you set her straight and said, hey, listen, Emily.
I did, just now.
He's got Chuck Todd on. He's got...
You know what her response was? Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I apologize.
Right.
And then she came in and tell me why she apologized.
It's not her fault. It's the people here that it's not even their fault because I like them here, so I don't want to blame Leo and these other folks. But God forbid somebody did any promotion. I mean, I am so tired. I swear to God, I'm exhausted. And part of it is because of the amount of work I do for this show after the show. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. I'm just tired.
I'm getting another sty, by the way. Because
I know. Was that because of you're anxious? Are you nervous? Or?
No, it's because I don't sleep. All I do is work.
No, it's because you got your disgusting, dirty fingers, you know, with
Nobody is cleaner than me.
And then you stick your finger in your eyeball after who knows what you're doing to Stacy. Then you come in with some type of different...
You've been to my house.
Eyeball venereal disease every goddamn week.
No. Get out of here.
It's been brewing for a little while.
Yeah, that thing started last week.
But that's okay. I mean...
That's because I'm run down and overworked.
You need to wash your eyes with babies.
Go ahead. Finish it. And what?
Run down and overworked.
And underpaid. You just want to
burnt out. Pretty wiped, ready for the weekend. Actually, now that you ask,
they have messaged Ted, and they are working on it.
The great Ted White.
She is working on it for me.
Very good. See, I can get John Montone anytime I want, but of course, the problem with John Montone is he's in New York, and that, of course, when you talk about all-time great news stations,
all news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins. You give us 22 minutes. We'll give you the world.
The problem is this story, this tragic story, 2 of them, again, Goldberg and Bociccio, took place in Boca. So I don't think John Montone in Times Square this morning is the right guy for the job, but Ted White is. So.
You're making me laugh. No, of course he's not.
Could we get John Walsh on the show?
The great John Walsh.
Yes, the great John Walsh.
I can work on it. I don't know about this morning.
I've met John Walsh.
Isn't he a Floridian? Right?
Well,
is he still?
I believe he still lives here.
Okay.
Of course, his son Adam was killed in Hollywood at the mall in Hollywood, Florida. I've met John Walsh a couple of times on the Imus show. He was great too. I mean, a great guy. I'll never forget the first time I met him. He was walking through the newsroom, and I had no idea he was even coming in that day. I mean, that was the type of job I had. I would be sitting in the FAN newsroom at 5 o'clock in the morning, already scared to death and anxious and nauseous. My stomach is killing me. I'm just waiting for the I-Man to walk in. It was such a miserable, every single day, I swear to you. When 10 o'clock rolled along, if, in fact, I didn't get fired or suspended or say something stupid, I was like, thank God I could talk sports with Jody Mack or Joe Beningo. But the cool part about the show was, and this is the God's honest truth, I'd be sitting there, in would walk George Bush, 41, in would walk George Bush, 43, Steve Martin, Sylvester Stallone, John Walsh, John Kerry. I mean, you name it. They would just walk in, and it was no big deal. No big deal. Tim Russert, God rest his soul. And I met Tom Brokaw. I met every one of these folks, and they all loved me. They loved me. And to this day, I still talk to some of those guys and have good relationships with lots of, as you know, with lots of those guys.
Yeah, you were at FAN last summer. Was it Jerry Springer just having coffee or something?
Well, but that was different. That was, he was already gone, Don. That was the Boomer and Craig days. That was 2 summers ago. And they also have a lot of big-time superstars walking in, I mean, every single morning. The morning show at WFAN just gets that, but it's a different type of folks.
What else is in that building, though? There's also... Is that no? Oh, yeah, WABC's different building. That's
right. 1010 Wins is on the same floor. That's a CBS property, but they don't have guests. They've got the news, obviously. But folks up there like Judy DeAngelis and Lee Harris, those are legends up in New York. They've been there forever. But with Boomer and Craig, you'll see like Walt Frazier walk in, or Bernard King walk in, or Bill Sims. But with Imus, it was politicians and movie stars, and it was just nuts. And you actually, after a while, it was like, okay, who's walking in today? It wasn't even a big deal anymore, you know. But that was then, and this is now. So now we've got Ricky Belufe. Great. Sorry, Rick. No disrespect to you. You're a wonderful kid. Give me the odds.
There's Ted White again.
There he is again.
He's showing up a lot.
That is the 4th time I've seen Ted White on WPBF standing outside the Boca Town Center Mall since 5 a.m. Since 6 a.m. I'm sorry. Since we started this show, they've gone to Ted White 4 times.
Yes.
What are the odds? Give me the odds right now, Langell, that he gets him today. Somebody to cover this story. A big local story. Huge. I mean, listen, I want bad guys found every single day. There's a lot of stories out there that don't get covered, unfortunately, especially inside the urban community. You give me 2 white people, white Italians, and a 7-year-old girl gunned down at a mall, that's going to get national attention. It just is. And I want all the bad guys to get caught. But for some reason, I want this mother effer, this scumbag, this piece of crap lowlife. I want him and or them more than most. I want this guy dead, not alive. I want him dead. I want him alive first, then I want to see him publicly executed. I'll pay for that. Well, what are the odds you get somebody on today?
Z-Mac, I'd say in the high 80s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I see him working feverishly.
Nice.
He seems to be making headway right here.
No,
he's actually.
I'm in communication with their producer.
I'm in communication.
What else do you want? At least I got the pipelines. Is working. The line of communication's open.
Right. I hate to say this.
He's almost like a real producer right now.
But when you say that, unfortunately, because it's the world we live in today. It reminds me of like the hostages. We're in communication, and then inevitably, in horrible fashion, they end up dead, all of them. So you're in communication, but is something going to happen?
I'm sure they would love to get Ted White on the air with us.
Oh, they would love that.
Yes.
Yes.
Big promotion,
huge
publicity and exposure for WPBF.
Paul Walker's daughter is suing Porsche.
Just the entire company, Porsche.
Yeah,
just
Porsche, not Porsche. That'll be Porsche de Rossi, but yeah, she's suing Porsche.
How old is she?
I don't even know. I mean, how old was Paul Walker?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, was he in his mid-30s?
Good-looking young guy.
13-year-old girl is suing Porsche.
And that song, who sings that song? My kids like it, Ava and Gabe. Wiz Khalifa. Wasn't that song about Paul Walker, I'm going to miss you? It's very popular right now.
Yeah. I don't know if it was written particularly for him, but it was used in Fast and Furious in his honor.
Okay, it was in Fast and Furious.
Yes,
Fast and Furious 7.
The final one.
That's what Ricky said. What's the name of that song? It's something missing. It's not Missing You. That's P. Diddy.
Something, I'll be with you in the end.
Oh, maybe something like that. Right. A very good
sings
song.
a very high voice. Very high voice.
All right. Hey, I was going to give the wrong number again. Folks that have been calling into this show for quite some time, we've got a brand new number today. It's very exciting. See you again. Thank you, Ricky. The new number to call the Sid Rosenberg Show. Put this in your phone right now. 844-640-6464. That's right. Thank you. 844-640-6464. 64. According to Rich Stevens, coming up at 10 o'clock on our sister station, 850, does a fine show. She's 16.
16, and she's suing.
She's suing, yeah. Well, you're never young enough or old enough to sue in this country.
Yeah, it's America.
I seen kids sue their parents who are like 11 years old. Well, thank you, Rich. All right, great show coming up. Once again, she's here each and every week. World-renowned relationship and sex therapist Liz Mandel. She's stopping by in about 5 minutes, and it's going to be graphic. So if the kids are in the car, all I can tell you is up the volume. Make sure they hear every word of it. Liz Mandel coming up at 7 from WFAN, part of that great midday show alongside my buddy Joe Beningo, Evan Roberts, showing up at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, we talk to the all-time great, the greatest football player to ever lace him up, Lawrence Taylor. At 8 o'clock, 8:45, terrorism expert on the latest between Putin and Barack Obama, Max Abrams. Coming up at 9, former great New York Met and New York Yankee Dwight Gooden. And at 9:30 from ESPN Baseball Tonight, Pedro Gomez. A remarkable show coming your way. We'll take a short break. We're back with Liz Mandel and the 7 o'clock hour right after this.